What's up YouTube, it's Heretic here, and welcome back as we have covered the Mega Venusaur and Mega Charizard decks the last 2 days. Of course, today we are looking at Mega Blastoise, my personal favorite starter Pokemon from the first generation and its Mega Evolution. Once again, thanks to the Spirit Link releases in the Evolutions expansion. So today, Mega Blastoise, we are looking at the original version, which was reprinted in Evolutions, which has Hydro Bombard for 3 water energies, dealing 120 damage, plus 30 damage to 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So a pretty solid 2-shot attack. I get some sniping damage on there. Can turn 2-hit knockouts into 1-hit knockouts after a couple of uses. Pretty good. After a couple hits on the bench, that is. So we play a 3-3 line, and we get an excuse to use this real cool looking Blastoise that we've got a few of on here. So to do that, so 3-3 line, we've got 2 Shamans and a Hoopa for search and draw power. We've got 2 Manaphy's for free retreat with our water energies. 1 Glaceon just for Mega Evolution decks, definitely a powerful thing to use against them. And then we have Regice, which is basically a broader Horizon version of Glaceon. Not quite as much HP, but just rather than blocking against Megas and stuff, you just block against all EXs. Doesn't quite work against Stage 1s and Stage 2s, but still overall really good right now. So it's kind of tough to run a water deck without Regice at the moment. We get into our item cards here. We've got 4 VS Seekers, the norm. Instead of 4 Ultra Ball, we run a 3-2 split. We run 3 Dive Ball to be able to search our water types out, and then 2 Ultra Ball. You can still search Hoopa and Shaman with that, which you can't search with Dive Ball, so still good to have those. 3 Trainer's Mail, and then 1 Super Rod, and 4 Max Elixir, of course, you know, just like we did with the Charizard yesterday, being able to get energy on the board before you Mega. Pretty darn powerful. Supporter lineup is pretty similar. We run 4 Sycamore, 2-2 split of Lysander and N, 1 Hex, and then we play Olympia again as a tech supporter. We got 3 Rough Seas for our stadiums. 3 Blastoise Links to go with a 3-3 line, of course. 2 Floatstones. These might not seem too necessary with Manaphy and all that, but amongst playtesting, I actually found it was pretty useful, since we're currently not running Parallel to get these things off our board. So it lets you be a little more flexible with what you bring up while you set up a Blastoise. And then 12 basic water energy. So that's our Mega Blastoise list, and let's just go ahead and take it into a game. Okay, so here we go. Charizard is done, Venusaur is done, and now it is Blastoise's turn to Mega Evolve on the main stage. And we're going to start with a winning of the coin flip. So we will choose to go first, and let's get her rolling. Oh, and we start with a Shaman. Not exactly what you want to see. Alrighty. Okay, and we see a pair of Giratinas, so that could be kind of annoying. Regice might be our friend here, though. So we're gonna Trainer's Mail. Oh, we hit a whopping nothing there. Alright. So we'll Ultra Ball away the 2 supporters and see what we have in deck. Alright. We do have our Hex Maniac in the deck. It's good to see. So I think we can Ultra Ball for the Hoopa here, since we can Dive Ball for the Regice. Alright, and so we can go Blastoise, Manaphy, Shaman here. And then the last one will go and get us the Regice. And I don't just want to sit on one Regice the entire game, only because if he runs like the Escape Rope or the Pokemon Ranger, I would imagine one or the other. We could get messed up pretty well there. So we're going to put the Blastoise down, put the Manaphy down, I'm going to put the Regice down, and I think we'll just start attaching there. And we'll Shaman here for 5. Alright. So we don't get a whole lot there. I think we just play this N. And, oh geez, that's worse. Okay, that's not helping us. So we're going to go ahead and pass the turn here. Hopefully we don't get first turn Chaos Wheeled off a couple of Max Elixirs. Alright, so he plays Hoopa now. And we're going to see the floodgates open on that end. Alright, so we see Darkrai, Shaman, and Hydreigon now. Seeing Hydreigon probably means there's no Garbodor that's going to come down. So that does mean something positive for our Manaphy here. Being able to hook us up with free retreat. We see a Max Elixir. And he misses. Okay. Well, that works for me. Alright, so we see a Float Stone. He puts it on the Hoopa, though, which is fine. We see a Darkness Energy go onto the Hydreigon. That is capable of cutting through Regice, so we may just want to go ahead and expedite the process to charging up Blastoise here. We see he switches out into the floating Hoopa, and now we'll see Shaman here for 4. Alright, so now he just free retreats into Hydreigon. We see a Parallel City, so he's going to knock Hoopa and Shaman off his bench. Unless he chooses to discard a Giratina, but I'm not quite sure why you'd do that. No. Okay, so there goes the Hoopa. So kind of a waste of a Float Stone, but I guess when you don't know what you're going to draw. Alright, so he passes the turn. We hit a Max Elixir here, so we can play that. Grab one of these energies. Bring it onto Blastoise. Go ahead and attach another one. And then we're just going to end again. Go ahead and play that. See if we can't get our Mega Evolution. Yep, alright. So we got the Mega. And we can actually wait to play the Rough Seas here. So we're just going to Spirit Link. And we'll Mega Evolve our Blastoise. And I think that's going to be it for the turn. We'll just go ahead and pass. Now those Giratinas are impervious to Mega Evolution, so we do need to keep that in mind. As we see, he plays a town map here, couple energies, couple supporters, Float Stone, okay. And he's going to Lysander up the Regice, so he's going to try to lay a lick down on that, and he's going to give us the option to free retreat now because he did that. So we take the 80, can attach this energy over here. Manaphy will allow us to retreat for free. And we can use Hydro Bombard. So obviously we're hitting the Darkrai. It doesn't really matter which Giratina we choose. It's not doing anything to it. Now we do a little less damage here. We probably should have Rough Seas there. We do see a Fighting Fury Belt. And then he's going to Versus Seeker here. So he's going to grab the Lysander and it looks like try to finish off that Regice. Definitely doesn't want that thing sticking around. So that'll open up our ability to Ultra Ball for something new here. And let's see what he takes off the prizes. Alright, so he grabs the N. So we're just going to bring Mega Blastoise back up front. And we can bump the stadium. We'll go ahead, let's see, we can just use the Dive Ball. And grab another Blastoise. And we've got the Link and the energy for it. And Hydro Bombard will once again lay down some damage, get a knockout, and so hopefully that misplay of not playing the stadium last turn isn't going to be too big of a deal. Alright, so he will just go right into Giratina here as expected since we can't exactly touch Giratina with this thing. Alright, so we see another Versus Seeker. He's going to Lysander yet again. We do have a Float Stone in hand now. So he brings up the Hoopa and passes the turn. So we're just going to attach this Float Stone to Hoopa. We're going to put an energy on the Blastoise and we'll go ahead and Professor Sycamore here. Okay, so I think we just retreat, and we're going to actually Rapid Spin here. So we're going to force him to switch out, which is pretty good. We're going to switch out ourselves right back into that floating Hoopa. And he'll have to switch probably into the other Giratina here. Maintain the Renegade Pulse. And if we can find our Hex Maniac here, we'd be in a great spot. So we're going to get N down to 4 cards now. And we get, well, not much. So we see he plays a Max Elixir here, gets an energy onto the Giratina, and so then attaches from hand. So he's got enough to use that attack now. We do see him grab a switch off of the Trainer's Mail. And he's going to play that to bring the other Giratina out and launch a Chaos Wheel here. Now we could just rapid spin him right back to the bench here, that's the thing. And let's see. Hoopa does have the Float Stone available. We can go ahead and play this Elixir. Hit an energy, so we'll go ahead and drop that on our Blastoise, and that gives us this energy to do whatever we want with. Probably hold on to it. So we can bring this thing out, and we could do a Splash Bomb here, or we could force him to spin out. I think we're going to force him to spin out here for a turn. And we'll, I think we'll bring the Manaphy up. Don't want to bring a Shaman up and risk a Fighting Fury Belt dropping. Okay, so he's going to Reverse Seeker again, so he's going to grab an N this time. Kind of a, when he does that, it's like, is he grabbing the N or the Lysander? Which one are we going to see? But we do redraw into a Water Energy. He grabs a Double Dragon. And he plays a Max Elixir here. So we'll see an energy go on to Darkrai. And that Dark Pulse is going to get sneaky big. Here, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's doing 160 right now with that thing. He's already got a pretty substantial number going. And we might be in the situation here where we want to start using Splash Bomb. We can attach an energy to Manaphy here, retreat it, and we can actually use this as well. Alright, so that'll give us another capable attack. And then we can Splash Bomb here for 120. And we do flip heads, so we avoid the recoil damage. Alright, so he's going to drop a Fighting Fury Belt on the benched Giratina. And there's another Versus Seeker, so he's going to continue this carousel of ends. It's been going on for pretty much the entire game. Alright, so we don't draw much off that. We do get a Lysander, though, which could potentially be big. See, he plays a Trainer's Mail here. Alright, so he's going to grab a Fighting Fury Belt there, so I guess the Darkrai is going to get a belt here. Nope. Oh, he goes with the other Giratina. That's an interesting choice there, since we can knock it out anyway. I'm going to see a Ultra Ball here. He's going to go grab a Shaman, so he's going to replenish his hand here. Get a 5-card setup. Digging for that Double Dragon energy now. Still not sure I agree with placing that Fighting Fury Belt on the active Giratina, because if you were to whiff here, you can't Float Stone to get yourself out of the active, and you would be completely in harm's way at that point. And so he does end up having to attach a Darkness energy to the Darkrai and passing the turn. Yikes. So we're going to go ahead and play a Trainer's Mail here. We don't see much. What do we have in the discard? Regice, which could potentially be appealing to get back, but I think we just take the Float Stone here. Don't really have too much in terms of options. Retreat. And we'd be able to bring this one out. And then we can drag up Darkrai in this case. And go ahead and drop one of these energies over here. And if we Hydro Bombard, we definitely hit the Shaman, and then sure, we'll hit one of those things for 0. And we get the Darkrai into a pretty solid range where we could just snipe it for the rest of the knockout. Alright, so he parallels himself here. So he really going for that -20 he gets off of the other end of parallel, which would prevent our bench damage from finishing Darkrai. We do see another double dragon come down. So he's got 2 fully charged Giratinas. He's got a ton of energy. So he's going to do the 220 here, knock out our Mega Blastoise. That sucks. Oh man, that's not good. But we'll be able to use Manaphy here to actually finish this KO. And let's go ahead and see what he grabs. So he grabs the Darkness Energy and the Trainer's Mail. And we can bring Manaphy up here, which is able to take the knockout. We've got another Trainer's Mail here. And I guess we could just grab that, see if there's even anything we want. Kind of doubtful right now. Might actually just shuffle it back in. We'll go ahead and attach the Float Stone here, and then we'll just play the N. So we drop him down to 3 cards in hand, which is really the main perk at this point. And we're able to Mineral Pump here for 40 damage, which will be enough to get this KO. And we also heal 30 damage off of Hoopa. Grab a couple prizes, and there is the Lysander that would win us the game. He's only got 1 attacker that would survive Blastoise's big attack right now. So that's the one, of course, that's going to come up into the active. And he Lysanders, so he drags up the Hoopa, because we notice everything on our board would be able to retreat. So we will take a Chaos Wheel here for a knockout. He'll drop himself down to 1 prize card, but we will end up winning the game on our next turn. Simply by dragging up this... Oh wait, he's got the Fighting Fury Belt on there? Okay, hang on, I gotta think now. This thing's got... Oh yeah, we still knock that out. Never mind. Sorry about that. Alright, so, yeah, bring this guy up. 100 damage is enough. Alright, so we take 30. Whoop-de-doo. I guess it's 10. Alright, cool. So, I guess regular Blastoise does more of the work there the first time around. But our Mega Blastoise deck nonetheless gets us a W, so we will take it into another game. So it looks like we hit a Volcanion, and that's got us licking our chops here, not gonna lie. That's the matchup we want. So flip the coin. Alright, go first. Awesome. So we start with, I guess we'll start with Glaceon. Got plenty of dive balls and stuff to get our board set up without having to use a Shaman or a Hoopa here. Definitely a favorable opening hand. Okay. And begin. Okay, so let's go get a Blastoise. And I think we're actually just going to go get 2 of them. Only 1 Mega in the deck. Okay, we do have the one we're going to throw away here. Go ahead and Elixir and Energy onto that Blastoise. Put the second one down. Put the Manaphy down. And boom. Okay. So we do go ahead and get a second energy there. And we pass our turn. Alright, so he's going to Trainer's Mail here. Grabs an Energy Retrieval. And we see Ultra Ball discarding 2 Fire Energy. Grabs a Hoopa to be able to go get his setup here. Grabs 2 Volcanions and a Shaman. Alright, so we see a Float Stone on the Hoopa, we see an Energy Retrieval. He'll be able to do a couple of Steam Ups here. So we do see an Energy go on to Baby Volcanion there. We see a Steam Up here. A Float Stone on the Volcanion-EX, and there's a 5-card setup. Alright, so there's a trainer's mail. Grabs a max elixir here. There's a Fighting Fury Belt on the active. Okay, another Steam up here, so he's going to do 90 damage. There's another max elixir. Gets an energy on Volcanion. Alright, and there's a Sycamore. So another max elixir, my goodness. Maybe it's that 5-minute thing that's got me going crazy. Alright, and there's a power heater for 90 damage. So we grab Floatstone, the energy. We'll go ahead and throw a couple of things. Grab this and try to fish for the Spirit Link. Oh, that's not happening. Alright. So another energy here. Okay. Do that. Set up again. There it is. And, oh, alright. So we're going to go ahead and get another energy down. And we will retreat. And we'll end. Alright, and then we'll Hydro Bombard here for a knockout. Alright, so another Volcanion comes down. See a max elixir here. There is an energy. There's a VS Seeker for a Lysander. Okay. So he's going to drag up one of our Shamans. Parallel City, our bench down. And then play a switch. So Volcanic Heat will knock out Shaman. We'll just proceed to bring Mega Blastoise up here. Get an energy there. And we're still one-shotting him even with Parallel. So we'll just knock that sucker out. Alright, so we see another Volcanion-EX. We see an energy go on to the one in the active, or the one that, okay, he's fully charged. Need a Lysander. Alright, so he escape ropes us here, so we'll just bring the other Blastoise up. And we'll see a Steam up. And if he gets one more, he'll be able to knock us out. Yep, there it is. But I don't think he's going to have any way to knock Mega Blastoise here. So the stadium holds him under the damage cap, and so we end up with the W as he misplays there. Parallel City ends up biting him in the rear as he misses that knockout, and I had actually missed that for a second too. But Mega Blastoise, you know, we would have been able to bring up the Mega even if he knocked us out there and take control. So Mega Blastoise really does its job, and we are able to come to a 2-0 record there. So we're going to go ahead and call that a day, and I'll see you guys at Philly. Cheers!